When you think America, what do you think of first? There are a number of options out there, but for me and many others, the first word that comes to mind is freedom. We love to have the freedom to choose our destiny, our jobs, our careers, our education paths, our partners. We like choice. And something that we haven't always had choice about is the way in which we are educated in college. But that has changed. My name's Carl, and today I want to tell you why online classes at Grand Valley are better than in person classes. By the end of this, you should agree with me that online classes are, in fact, better than in person classes. To convince you of this, I'm going to cover three main points. First, I'll talk about time and how valuable that is to us. Second, I'll talk about safety. And then finally, I will talk about our collective future. So, to begin, time is valuable. We always hear things like, there's never enough time. And that can be very true. And we spend a great deal of that time in the university for those that choose to go. And that's who's affected by this talk. Now, I'd say two things about time. First of all, having a job is part of the American experience for the most part. Most of us have to wait or limit ourselves to some degree before pursuing a career while we're in college. That's sort of why we're here. However, I think a better plan would be to do both at the same time. And taking online classes would allow you to do that. This way, you wouldn't have to be at school 4 or 5 days a week during daytime hours. You could work when you can, when your employer needs you there, and still find time to learn as well. The second point within time is to talk just briefly about flexibility. I know in class, many of my students will get phone calls, they'll get emails, they have emergencies. There's a number of things that could take them out of the classroom and have them miss part of or an entire piece of a lecture. Well, that doesn't need to be the case in online education. Now we're able to record presentations and go back and watch them at our convenience. Now I know if you're having a synchronous course online where you are watching what's happening and they don't record it, your professor doesn't record it and post it live. You didn't hear this from me, but it's very possible to do what I'm doing right now and screen record without the Zoom link notifying that you're recording. So you could mute your camera and your mic and then record the lecture and watch it later. I'm not encouraging that, just saying it's possible. So this would allow you to work at your own pace, work at your convenience. So the second point that I want to bring up is safety. Of course, the clear safety issue right now is COVID. We want to avoid the classroom because that's when we have people congregated together and that's where COVID likes to spread. However, there are other reasons that we should prefer these online classes when it comes to safety. First of all, we've got to drive to get to school. And we know that any time on the road, the more we're on the road, the more likely we are to be involved in some form of an accident. Here in Michigan, especially where it is really rough sometimes in the winter, we don't have to drive to campus and risk life and limb on these slippery roads when we could just simply go to online education. That seems to be a much safer, smarter option when it comes to safety. So, beyond just time and safety, I want to talk about one last but very, very important thing, and that is our collective future as a nation, as a society. As we continue to move forward in time, we see that technology plays a bigger and bigger role in our lives. And sure, for some people that's a little bit scary, but not for people who are in the university system right now. Most of us welcome the change. We see technology as a way to improve our lives, to make our lives a little bit easier. And if we can use it the right way, it can do just that. So, as we move forward, we have seen a push toward online education. In fact, our own president, Philomena Mantella, has made many statements about pushing online education at Grand Valley into the future before COVID ever started. So the future is coming. Why not get really prepared for it now. I can guarantee you that many of you will give telemeetings, telepresentations for work in the future. And the more we're able to simulate that coming reality for you now, the better prepared you will be then. So, as you can see, online classes are better options than in person classes. This is because of the time factor, the safety issue, and because it's the future and it's coming anyway. Now, when I asked you at the beginning, what do you think of when you think America? Many people probably thought freedom. And now we're able to experience freedom through online courses in a way that we've not been able to do before. Thank you.